My name's Lisa, and I am the author of the blogs on Better Than Sober. And this is my fourth video in my series of talking about the science and the physiology under alcoholism, and especially to explain what's going on in the brain and why it is that traditional 12-step Alcoholics Anonymous type programs work for some people and some people not so much. And so to recap, we basically have two brains, and our older brain, or our first brain, is where addiction happens. And what's happened is this part of the brain assesses everything that we experience, and it gives it a rating of either necessary for survival or not essential for survival, and it kind of rates it. Okay, alcohol, it rates the things based on how they feel. Alcohol feels so unnaturally good and increases the feel-good hormones in your body when you drink it, that this part of the brain, the older brain, has become obsessed with alcohol, and it's sort of deemed it its object of desire, coding it more important than almost anything else, and therefore it generates the intense urge for us to get alcohol almost no matter what. Now, our modern brain, the prefrontal cortex, which evolved on top of that over millions of years, has the ability to control and regulate the older brain. And for most of us, for about 70% of the population, it does that. And those are the normal drinkers who realize that they drank too much the last time, or they need to get up early tomorrow, and so they can get this under control. But why can't we? Well, because of neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to change in structure and function, we can't seem to do this because the communication between the prefrontal cortex and the older brain is just not quite perfect. Sometimes we can do it, and sometimes we can't. And so what I believe has happened for people who have either spontaneously, on their own, become sober, or people who have done AA and 12-step programs, what I believe they've done is they have rewired basically their brains. They have improved the communication between these two brains so that the prefrontal cortex can control the addiction that's coming from the older brain. And they believe it is a spiritual awakening from a higher power, and for them it might very well be. But I know that we can systematically and intentionally do this, rewire our brains. That's what I've done in myself. And so I am working on, it's a little complicated and takes a little time and details to explain, but I'm working on a program to help explain this and to help teach people how to do this without relying on the capricious nature of a higher power. It's fine that people believe in a higher power. I have no problem with that. But what I'm saying is that there's some science and physiology under that program that they didn't know. Bill Wilson didn't know about this in the 1930s, because my program is based on cutting edge, latest, brain science and physiology, which they just didn't have back then. So I'm trying to explain, why this has happened for some people in 12-step groups and why it doesn't happen for some people, and then to help you learn how to intentionally and systematically do this for yourself. Okay, if you like this information and you would like to get on my wait list for when my program will be ready, then you can do that in the notes after this video, and visit my website, betterthansober.com. Get on my email list to receive notifications for when I'll be writing blogs and what they're going to be about, and hopefully I'll see you in the group. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful. See you next time.